Hello Year 3 and welcome to our first English lesson for this half term. I'm hoping that you have already watched the video story clip of Burglar Bill. If you haven't yet watched that, stop this video and watch the story video first, because this is a double page taken from the book Burglar Bill by Janet and Alan Alberg. And I have read it aloud up until this point in the story. We're going to use this text to do a simple exercise in English today, one that you need to be really confident with, which is about the present tense and the past tense. This book's really interesting because the way it's been written, it's entirely written in the present tense, as if it's happening now, even though the story is about something that happened beforehand, sometime in the past. So all the verbs in this story, all the actions and thought words, are in the present tense. Why have the authors done that, do you think? So for example, there with a black mask over her eyes and her hand in the bread bin stands a lady. Who are you? Says Burglar Bill. Why is it like that? It's difficult to think about it, but I think the reason that they've done that is because Burglar Bill is really kind of telling the story in a way, and it's done in a chatty, geezerish sort of way. Burglar Bill's a bit of a geezer. And so if you say, well, I goes down the road and then I says to my friend, it sounds chatty and informal. So I think the book's been written in the way that a burglar would talk. So it's all in the present tense, even though the events in the story happened some time ago. So the TLP for today is to turn all the present tense verbs into past tense verbs. Now it's a bit difficult because you don't have a sheet of this story in your pack, but hopefully you can screenshot and freeze this and just about be able to read the text that is here for you to have a look at. So, first job is to spot the verbs. So we're going to read it through together and I can help you with this to start off with, and we'll see if you can carry on. There, with a black mask over her eyes and her hand in the bread bin, stands a lady. The verb is stands. So we're going to write the present tense in our English books on one side. So I'm going to do present on the left. So the verb that we spotted in our sentence, Mrs. Davies has taught you that sentences must have a verb in. The present tense verb is stands. To stand is something that you do. We're going to change it into the past. Do we just add ed? Are we going to say standed a lady? No. What's the past tense of stands? Ask someone near you if you don't know. What do you think? It's stood. So we don't always add ed to change verbs into their past. This is called an irregular verb because it doesn't follow the adding ed rule. Irregular. It's not regular. It does something different. So we're going to work our way through the text. On to the next sentence. Who are you? Says Burglar Bill. The past tense of says, so the verb, what he's doing is he's saying something. Is it said? Not quite. It's said. You must spell this correctly, Year 3. 7 ants in danger. Sally Ann is dancing. I don't mind what you use to remember it. Just spell it right, Year 3. I'm Burglar Betty, says the lady. Who are you? We've done says already, so we're not going to do it a second time. Burglar Bill puts on his own mask. So the verb is puts. He puts on his mask. And the past tense of puts is putted. No, I'm tricking you. It's not. Putted. I'll write it. You can see it doesn't look right. There's no such word. He putted on his hat. No, he put. How strange. you make a mistake in English, you can just do a neat line. We're going to work our way through the text. So, we've got says again. I seen your picture in the police gazette. This is a deliberate mistake. I seen. That's not right. Let's write seen, even though it's not right. The past tense of seen is, begins with S, but I'm not going to finish that one off. You can do that one. Then she says, look here, I'm ever so sorry breaking in like this. If I'd have known. Don't mention it, says Burglar Bill. He holds out his hand. Holds. Pleased to meet you. Likewise, I'm sure, Burglar Betty says. Burglar Bill makes a jug of cocoa and opens a packet of ginger biscuits. The two burglars sit round the kitchen table. So even if it's hard to read the text, I'm helping you find the verbs. You married Bill, says Burglar Betty. No, says Burglar Bill. The right woman never come along. So come is actually present tense verb. He offers the biscuits to Burglar Betty. What does he do? He offers. So I'm writing all the present tense verbs in a column. She takes one and dips it in her cocoa. Only I just wondered, she says, seeing these baby things. So your task is to copy the list of present tense verbs and change them into the past tense. Please check that they're spelt right. That's the whole point of this activity today. Some you add ed, some you have to think of a rule before you add ed, which you've learnt in year 2 and in year 3, and some completely change into a different word to make the past tense verb. So just a quick English activity today because the maths and science are a bit more time consuming. Thanks year 3. See you soon.